Bitcoin is the final frontier of true ownership. In a world where your purchasing power systematically erodes by design, where property can be seized, foreclosed, taxed into oblivion, or destroyed, where centralized authorities dictate when, how, and if you can access your own wealth. What does true ownership actually mean? I'm Savage, co-founder of ArbiApe, and today I'm going to reveal why Bitcoin isn't just another investment option. It's the inevitable conclusion of humanity's 5,000-year quest for incorruptible property, and why this creates the greatest wealth transfer opportunity of our lifetime. The crisis of ownership. Let's be brutally honest about the current state of what we call ownership. The median home price in America has exploded from $17,800 in 1963 to over $417,000 today, with down payments around $83,000 and interest rates between 6 to 8%. Monthly mortgages hit $2,500. Who can truly afford that? And what are you really buying? A property that can be seized through civil asset forfeiture. A property that can be taken through eminent domain. A property that you must continuously repurchase through property taxes. A property that even after 30 years of payments isn't truly yours if you miss a tax payment. This isn't ownership. It's an illusion of ownership. A sophisticated rental agreement with the state. Let's contrast some traditional assets like gold, stocks, bonds, cash. They all suffer from fundamental vulnerabilities. Susceptibility to seizure, foreclosure risk, taxation devaluation, physical vulnerability, centralized control. When the system is designed to extract value rather than preserve it, where can you turn? The Bitcoin paradigm represents something unprecedented in human history. The first truly unseizable, uncensorable, inflation-resistant, and indestructible property. But to understand why Bitcoin is inevitable as the global store of value, we need to understand what makes something valuable in the first place. Throughout history, humanity has consistently gravitated toward harder money, forms of value that cannot be easily created or corrupted. From seashells to stones, from copper to silver, from silver to gold, we've always upgraded to more scarce, more divisible, more portable, more durable forms of value storage. Bitcoin is simply the next logical step in this evolution, a technological revolution that solves the fundamental problems that plague every other asset class. The mathematics of inevitability, as the brilliance of Bitcoin lies in its fixed supply cap of 21 million coins, a mathematical certainty enforced by code, not promises. As legendary investor Bill Miller points out, Bitcoin is the only economic entity where the supply is unaffected by the demand. When gold prices rise, mining increases. When real estate prices climb, development accelerates. When demand grows, supply responds. Not with Bitcoin. If every millionaire on earth wanted just 1/2 of one Bitcoin, they couldn't have it. There aren't enough to go around. This creates an asymmetry so profound, it's difficult to fully comprehend fixed supply meeting virtually unlimited potential demand. The confluence of demand, and make no mistake, this demand is building from multiple sectors simultaneously. Corporate treasuries seeking inflation hedges, institutional investors recognizing the asymmetric opportunity, nation states beginning to accumulate strategic reserves, payment infrastructure builders like David Marcus developing Bitcoin-based systems, profit-generating entities like Tether systematically buying with their earnings, sovereign wealth funds quietly accumulating positions, and individual investors awakening to the reality of true ownership. Each of these demand layers alone would be significant. Together, they create an unprecedented pressure on an asset with immutable scarcity. This brings us to perhaps the most significant opportunity of our lifetime, temporal arbitrage. Most people don't understand Bitcoin yet. According to recent surveys, about only 4% of Americans consider Bitcoin, or cryptocurrency, the best long-term investment. And ironically, this is down from previous years. This gap between current perception and inevitable recognition creates temporal arbitrage, a gap between today's price and tomorrow's reality that you can position yourself to benefit from. While the masses still believe in increasingly unattainable real estate or inflationary fiat currencies, visionaries are quietly accumulating the only truly scarce asset in existence. Tim Draper predicted you go out 10 years and the answer is infinity against the dollar, because there very well may not even be a dollar. Cathie Wood and major financial institutions are systematically acquiring positions. Nations like Ireland are considering strategic Bitcoin reserves to protect their citizens' wealth. Even traditional real estate investors like Grant Cardone are allocating portions of their funds to Bitcoin. And of course, let's not forget Michael Saylor and his infamous quote, "Bitcoin, there is no second best." This isn't speculation. It's recognition of an inevitable mathematical outcome playing out across decades. Here's your call to action. So let me speak directly and plainly to you now. This isn't about getting rich quick. This isn't about speculation. This is about recognizing a fundamental shift in what constitutes property and positioning yourself accordingly. When you truly understand that Bitcoin is the first and only asset that cannot be seized, foreclosed, inflated away, or destroyed when properly secured, the decision becomes obvious. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for universal recognition. Don't wait for your financial advisor to understand what's happening. Begin your journey of accumulation now. Start small if necessary, but start. 1% of your net worth, 5%. Whatever you can genuinely afford to commit for the long term. Use the predictable income system offered by ArbiApe as a leverage to increase your Bitcoin acquisition capacity. The window of this temporal arbitrage will not remain open forever. As understanding spreads and major players secure their positions, the opportunity diminishes. In a world where true ownership has become increasingly illusory, Bitcoin represents the final frontier, the culmination of humanity's search for incorruptible property. The question isn't whether Bitcoin will become the global store of value. The question is, will you recognize this reality before or after the masses? The choice, as always, is yours. Again, I'm Savage, co-founder of ArbiApe. May your future self thank you for the wisdom and courage you demonstrate today.